The LSU Tigers play football Saturday against the Oklahoma Sooners, but it's also coaching search season, and we're ranking the most compelling coaching searches in LSU history. Punch it, Arthur. Welcome. I'm Ruddy Rutledge, and he's Arthur. So LSU's playing a football game Saturday afternoon for the final time this regular season. The Tigers head to Oklahoma to take on the Sooners, but a lot of Tiger fans are talking about something else this week. There's a little coaching search going on at LSU right now. And I got to say, calling this thing Kiffin Watch is far too dull and too boring. Personally, I kind of like the Joey Freshwater experience. Now that sounds like a show that deserves some quality production behind it. Could even rebrand it into the next season of Let's Make a Deal, starring Lane Kiffin. Hosted by LSU Athletic Director Verge Osbury. Directed by, produced by, and written by super agent man Jimmy Sexton. Sound engineering and production design, also Jimmy Sexton. Cinematography and lighting and key grip, also Jimmy Sexton. But no matter who leaves with the belle of the ball, no matter who gets the rose, you can always count on Fans Online with inside sources. Inside info on the search. I got sources, listen to me. My uncle knows a guy who knows a guy who knows an HVAC repairman for someone on the board of supervisors. And he said Layla Kiffin was looking at houses in Baton Rouge. And Knox Kiffin was at the local Dick's Sporting Goods shopping for basketball goals. Arthur, you ready to see dunk ball on the sidelines in Tiger Stadium? LSU and Oklahoma will knock heads in Norman Saturday afternoon, and the 8th-ranked Sooners will be looking to clinch a playoff spot. But they'll also be looking to avenge last season's 3-score loss in Baton Rouge, where some quarterback named Garrett Nussmeier threw for 3 touchdowns and 277 yards. Wow. I don't know if we'll see 277 yards total from these two teams on Saturday. Potentially bad weather combined with an impotent LSU offense and 2 dominant defenses should keep this one low scoring. We're talking about an LSU offense that could not run the ball against the nation's 108th ranked rush defense last week, Western Kentucky. Quarterback Michael Van Buren could not sustain drives. And now the helpless LSU offensive line limps into this one Saturday with several key players banged up. That is not good. Because this nasty Sooners D is nastiest up front on the D-line. Best D-line this Tiger O-line will have faced all season. The best. I could say the Tigers need to shake some things up. Go no huddle. Hit them with something they've not seen before. This LSU offense is not capable of anything like that. Best thing for this offense to give the Tigers a chance to win would be to just line up and try to run the ball, eat clock, try to stay on the field as long as they can, shorten the game. Maybe Harlem Berry can break one for a home run, or Xavion Thomas. I don't see it happening, but that's why they play the game. On the other side, the Tiger defense has played well consistently since the A&M abomination, and they could give LSU a chance to stay in this one. They've played lights out on the back end. Recently, cornerback Mansour Delane is now a Thorpe Award finalist, given to the nation's top defensive back. And DJ Pickett's really coming on at the other corner. And if Whit Weeks can go again, the front seven for the Tigers should match up well against quarterback John Mateer and an Oklahoma offense that has its own set of problems. Now, they don't have LSU offense problems, but the Sooners only managed 276 total yards last week against Missouri in a 17-6 win. But LSU's going to need a special team score or a defensive score or both to pull this massive upset on the road, and I just can't see them pulling that off. The defense plays hard, keeps it respectable. Maybe they do get a defensive score, but OU has too much to play for in this one and too good a D-line. Sooners take it at home, 19-13. In Louisiana, the LSU football coach is the big dog in the yard. King ding-a-ling. So there's always going to be heavy interest in these LSU coaching searches, which got me to thinking back to some of the past coaching searches. They've pretty much all been entertaining and unique in their own way, and that's what we're getting into now today. The most compelling coaching searches in LSU history. Not necessarily the ones that landed the best coaches. The one from 1999 would easily win that. But the most memorable ones. The ones that generated the most interest from fans, gave us the juicy rumors and all the twists and the turns, and made a lot of fans less productive at work. So, most compelling coaching searches in LSU history, starting with Number 5, 2021, the search that landed Brian Kelly, former Notre Dame coach and lazy bum. This should have been the one where LSU fans learned to stop listening to posters with sources on anonymous message boards and social media, but that'll never happen. Everyone and their grandmother and their grandmother's friends from bingo, anyone who claimed to be in the know swore that Lincoln Riley was a guaranteed, stone-cold lock to leave Oklahoma and come to LSU until he was suddenly announced as head coach at USC. 'Twas a textbook display of agenting by Trace Armstrong. Florida then grabbed their man, Sunbelt Billy Napier, from the University of Lafayette. Worked out well. Funny though, because Napier always looked like a Florida man. Always had that Florida man look to him. Always looked like he was ready and willing to go rob a Jacksonville gas station for all the kratom they had. And then LSU flew in Brian Kelly and his family, and we know how that played out. I'm not fired, Scott. You're fired. I'm going to clean out my office and go have a margarita. The search of 1999 landed LSU the coach who would become college football's GOAT. And this search gave us the famous story of Miss Terry Saban, who came to Baton Rouge without her husband, checking out the landscape. Sound familiar? Miss Terry walked up and wrote Nick Saban's name on the chalkboard at a local restaurant, I believe it was TJ Ribs, and added his name to the list of LSU candidates, which was already quite long. LSU eventually hired Saban, of course, and the rest is history. Number 3 is a bit of a curveball, pun intended. The 2021 LSU baseball coaching search. Now this breaks from the football theme, but Tiger fans really got into this one. Felt a lot like a football search. Paul Mainieri had just retired, and the LSU fan base was divided on who they wanted to run the nation's top baseball program. But just about all the local boys connected to the program, the former players, former coaches, were all in on Mike Bianco, who won a national title at Ole Miss that very next season. Good for him. Too bad you can't win one there in football. But Scott Woodward, LSU AD, He wanted Florida coach Kevin O'Sullivan, reportedly, and he had him in the bag until the LSU board apparently told him no, because Sully came with some baggage, allegedly. So then, after a home run interview, LSU then hired Arizona coach Jay Johnson, who has since brought 2 big, shiny CWS trophies to Baton Rouge. At number 2, we have the great Joe Alleva shit show of 2016. Definitely the sloppiest and the most incompetent coaching search in LSU history. And it actually began in 2015. Last game of the season, LSU was all set to fire Les Miles and hire Jimbo Fisher, reportedly. But the Mad Hatter was inexplicably retained at the 11th hour. He changed nothing in the offseason, of course, made 0 adjustments to his archaic offense, and so LSU finally fired him 4 games into the 2016 season and promoted Ed Orgeron to the interim. Coach O went 6-2 after everyone had said he needed to win every game in order to get the full-time job. And at season's end, LSU and Texas both wanted the hot name at the time, Houston coach Tom Herman. Unfortunately for LSU AD Joe Alleva, Herman preferred Texas over LSU. But instead of just accepting that and moving on, doing due diligence on some other candidates first at least, Alleva got emotional, got his little feelings hurt, and then acted out, and he made an angry hire. Far as I could tell, an angry coaching hire. He just had to beat Texas to the podium and announce his hire first. Everything was always about optics with Joe Alleva. The moment Texas got serious with Herman, Alleva immediately hired Orgeron, the interim coach who had a nice little binder put together and who wasn't being pursued for any other head coaching jobs. And this isn't about the results after the hire. It's about the process. And this coaching search revealed stunning incompetence from Joe Alleva. Coach O obviously won a national title at LSU, drove the program off a cliff right after that. As for Tom Herman, well, Mr. Mensa flopped at Texas, flamed out at Florida Atlantic, and now I believe he's selling used shower curtain rings. That's what I heard. Hopefully he made it home for Thanksgiving. Number 1 is a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer 2 weeks ago. The most compelling coaching search in LSU history is this one, 2025. How could it not be? I mean, this has been nuts this past month in Baton Rouge, with the ousting of one athletic director, promotion of another, the hiring of a new president, all right after the firing of a football coach, who then sued the school in a highly publicized lawsuit. We've had rumors of Nick Saban returning, betting odds for Nick Saban's return, coaching candidates and governors going on Pat freaking McAfee, as if this wasn't already a big enough clown show. We've had LSU fans putting on thermals and staking out in the bushes at the Baton Rouge airport, stalking planes, and passengers getting on and off the planes. Probably be watching for dogs next. Juice Kiffin to LSU. And in all seriousness, Lane Kiffin has a choice. He can listen to the whiny, chirpy talking heads on the national media, like that little fart-sniffing gump on game day, Reese Davis, and stay in Oxford, Mississippi forever. Or he can ignore that noise, which I think he will, and take the bigger, better job. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a happy Thanksgiving weekend. I'm Ruddy Rutledge, and this is some Bayou Football.